Ryan, good to see you. Today, we're going to discuss the 5 best times for a Roth conversion. Retirees who want to reduce their taxes in retirement can benefit from strategic conversions from traditional to Roth accounts. And identifying those key windows can lead to significant tax advantages and, of course, a bigger nest egg. So, opportunity number one would be during a down market. Explain why it makes more sense during a downturn.
Yeah, I mean, certainly a Roth conversion isn't right for everyone, but one of the reasons to maybe consider it is, like you said, if we do experience a market downturn, because then markets down, you go ahead and convert whatever you might want to convert there, and then the idea there is that those assets there are on sale, so to speak, and so then when the market turns around, presumably like it always has over the course of history, then all of that could be considered tax-free growth. So
Mhm.
that would be, the real reason to consider doing that.
Mhm. Reason number two, ahead of tax bracket changes. And taxes are set to increase at the end of this year.
Yeah, if nothing gets changed between now and the end of the year, that's absolutely right. Tax rates will go up. As it stands right now, I think that those tax rates are going to be extended. Of course, we don't know that for sure, but certainly historically, we're still in a low tax rate
Right.
environment. So, if there's the opportunity and it makes sense for you, depending upon your income and where you are within the tax brackets, how much you have saved so far in which types of accounts, whether it's pre-tax or after tax and all of those things, then it may make sense to consider doing a Roth conversion this year.
Mhm. Next would be between retirement and RMD age when you may have lower taxable income.
Yeah, this can be a real incredible, good opportunity to consider doing Roth conversions because, let's say you retire at 65 and maybe your income was high while you were working, and maybe it didn't make a whole lot of sense to consider Roth conversions. Now you retire again, as an example, at 65, and now your income is much lower because your income's all going to come from your retirement assets,
Yeah.
maybe Social Security, whatever it is. And so here could be a good opportunity while your income has dropped to go ahead and start taking those, start considering doing those Roth conversions while you're in a lower tax bracket. Now, as you can see right here, RMDs are going to start at age 73 or at age 75, depending upon the year you were born. So that time frame right in between when you retire up until that RMD age, you have a lot of flexibility there on
Yeah.
what you withdraw. And it could be
Right.
good opportunities to get that money out and pay a lower amount in tax and,
Mhm.
and also do conversions.
Mhm. And on that same note, another good opportunity would be if you are experiencing a low income year.
Yeah. So, although, some things we don't want to think about, but, if you were put in a position where, maybe you're working, but you lost your job. And so now your income is going to be quite a bit lower for the year, or maybe you own a business and sales are down, that's that sort of thing. And there might be an opportunity because your income is lower, you might want to consider doing a Roth conversion there for sure, because you might be in a lower tax bracket. Now,
Mhm.
of course, there's other things to weigh there, right? If your income's down, then maybe you need that other money to provide or to meet your living expenses.
Right.
So
Right.
you certainly have to make sure that you have enough money on the sidelines to account for these decisions that you're going to
Mhm.
make.
And then last, if you're planning for your heirs, Roth accounts are one of the best ways to create generational wealth.
Yeah, and that's the thing too about Roth conversions is that sometimes they could be a great thing, but sometimes when you run the analysis, sometimes they just don't pay off because there isn't enough time. Because remember, when you do a Roth conversion, you have to pay the tax up front, and so there's always going to be kind of that break even age, so to speak, where it kind of makes sense to go ahead and do that. And so sometimes in running that analysis, it doesn't make sense in my opinion, certainly, to do that during your to in order for it to benefit you during your lifetime. But where it
Mhm.
really could benefit you, perhaps, is to help you to pass money along to your kids, let's say,
Yeah.
more efficiently, because you can
Right.
pass that money along tax free. And then, of course, with the Roth, that they're adult kids, they even have 10 years now before they actually have to withdraw that money out.
Mhm.
So there's some nice advantages there as well for
Yeah.
generational wealth, like you said.
Clearly, there is no cookie cutter answer, but now is a good time to at least crunch the numbers, Ryan. So if somebody wants to do that with you, how can they get a hold of you?
Best ways to go to the website, go to kravitzfinancial.com. You can go to the contact page there, submit a message. Also on the process page, you can schedule a call, and more than happy to talk to you.
All right, Ryan, thank you so much for your time today. I appreciate it.
Thank you.